Hello everyone and welcome to another FIFA 16 Ultimate Team Squad Builder. This is the third one I'm doing this year and it's on the most expensive squad that I built this year. So I think we're just going to jump straight into it. It's also my favorite team that I built this year. So in goal, my favorite keeper on the game that I have personally used, David De Gea. And it hurts me a little bit inside to say that because I'm a Liverpool fan and I generally don't use Manchester United players, but De Gea, he's just too good to pass. I love this man. I haven't personally used like some of the most high-rated keepers on the game, like Van de Sar, Peter Schmeichel. I have used Neuer though, and I didn't find him to be better than De Gea, so I think he's actually really good. And we're going to start off on the left back here. So at left back, we're going to go with a man from the Bundesliga, probably one of the most well-rounded players in the game, David Alaba. He's fantastic, my favorite left back on the game. There's a lot of really good ones actually. I really like Tremolinas from Sevilla. Also really like Jordi Alba from Barcelona, but Alaba trumps all of them. He's just got such a well-rounded card. 85 rated too, highest rated regular gold card on the game. And as I said, he's also one of the most well-rounded players because he's got a center back card. He's also got a CDM card, so you can play in CM, CDM, cam, center forward, and striker if you'd like. The only position you can't play him in, well, of course you can play him, but he won't get full chemistry. It's on the wings and on the right back, but he's fantastic. And as our first center back, we're actually going to go with his teammate. That is going to be Jerome Boateng, the best center back that I've used this year. Look at how many games I play with him. And I know I used him in a squad builder a few months ago together with James Rodriguez. And it's the exact same Boateng, and he's just so good. He's 6'4". Got 79 pace, 87 defending, and 84 physical. This man is an absolute tank and a machine. A machine tank! I mean, I can't sing any more high praise about him. He's just so good for a regular gold card. I can't actually believe it. And we're actually going to see the last center back, or the other center back for last, I should say. Because at our right back, we're going to have our first inform in the team, and it's going to be Serge Aurier. I haven't played that many games with him, but I played quite a bit of games with his regular card, so he's actually really good. Maybe not my favorite right back in the game. Piszczek is actually very good. He's also very well-rounded, and he's a little bit taller than Aurier too, but he's still really good. I remember his second inform card in FIFA 15. I used him a bunch in that game, and he's still actually fantastic, even though, as I said, only played 4 games with him, but I can feel that he's really good. Now you may be thinking, how am I going to link everyone up, because De Gea is not going to get full chemistry if I put in a PSG right back, and even if I put in a Spanish center back here, it's just not going to work. Well, of course, we got a way around it, and it's going to be a player by the name of Fernando Hierro, the Spanish legend. Since legends link up to everyone this year, I've started using them. Well, I should say this is actually the first legend I really used a lot. And as you can see, I paid a lot of coins for him. He doesn't go for quite that much these days, but I'm pretty sure that he goes for at least 250, 260k. So it's still a lot of money to fork out for a center back, but I find it to be worth it because he links up to De Gea. As I said, my favorite goalkeeper in the game is also links up to Jerome Boateng. Well, he links up to everyone, but he is a strong link to De Gea, which is the main thing. Obviously, if you want to make this team cheaper, or if you play on PS4, you could also just do this, put in any German keeper you want, and then Thiago Silva or any PSG center back you want, or maybe even any German center back that you want, and the team will link up fine. I mean, Thiago Silva is like, I think 15k these days, and as I said, any German keeper does. If you prefer Fährmann, if you prefer Leno or Neuer, there's just so many German keepers that you can choose from. You can even put in Kevin Trapp from PSG too, and it will work out fine. But this is the setup that I'm using and that I'm most comfortable with. So anyway, our CMs, I'm actually going to put them all in at the same time because they kind of work as a unit. First off, we got Arturo Vidal, we got in-form Ilkay Gündogan, and then as a last center mid, we're actually going to go with Blaise 420 Matuidi. These, as I said, these three players works as a unit together. Vidal, I also used back in my Juame squad builder, and it's also the exact same Vidal, and he's absolutely fantastic. These three players work their ass off to win the ball in the midfield. That's the main way I think that I score in this game, is win the ball back with these three center mids here, and then get it up to the three main attackers. But Ilkay Gündogan, I'm kind of iffy about him. I mean, of course he doesn't get like a point a game. He's really, really good, but I think there's better CMs on this game, in my opinion. He's still really good, but I think I prefer someone like maybe Javier Pastore, who's a little bit taller and got a little bit better of a long shot on him. But anyway, on third and definitely not last, or he's the last, last but not least, I should say, we got Blaise Matuidi. I played a lot of games with some of these guys, but that's just because I really like them and I prefer to put them in every team that I can possible. And Blaise Matuidi, as I said, is really good. It's also very well-rounded. All these three players have almost plus 70 in all stats. Gündogan is only got, I said, only 67 defending, and Matuidi's got 67 shooting. So they're all very well-rounded. None of them are really that tall, 5'11". 5'11" and 5'9", but it doesn't really matter actually. They still win the ball back in the midfield, no matter what I do. As I said, that's the main way that I score with this team, or in this formation too, with the three attackers up front. These three just work so well together. It's unbelievable actually. Now, our main three attackers, well, I'd like to call these three attackers like my MSN or my Tres Amigos. They're all fantastic, but I think I'll start off with what I consider the worst one, and he's really bad at all. It's going to be the upgraded position change, Angel Di Maria. He's more the provider of these three attackers, but he also pops up with a goal every now and then. He's absolutely rapid, he's got great dribbling. Now, he's only got 2-star weak foot, unfortunately, but it doesn't really matter, actually. He's still really, really good, and I'm really happy that he got himself a upgrade and position change to the right, so I could put him in this formation, or else I would have to put Lucas in, and I don't like Lucas nearly as much as I like Di Maria, so that's just a personal preference. And as our left forward, we're going to go with someone from the Bundesliga to get a perfect link up to Ilkay Gündogan, and it's going to be Marco Reus. He's absolutely fantastic. I used El Shaarawy for so long, and I actually really, really like him. He's one of my favorite left-sided players on the game, or cheap left-sided players on the game, I should say. But Marco Reus is just a whole nother beast. As you can see, he's got over a point a game for me, which is what I strive for, what I want in my attackers. In the beginning, he just banged in goals left, right, and center, and didn't let my striker get that many goals, actually. But, I mean, he still managed to get 17 assists. These three attackers, as I said, kind of works like Tres Amigos. They all supply together very nicely, and they all three score goals. So, they're not quite as good as the MSN trio, but the MSN trio is probably one of the best attacking forces ever. So anyway, our striker, as you can see, it's not a whole lot of people to link up here, but I think you can pretty much tell who I'm going to put in here. It's going to be someone from the league, and it's going to be a player that I've enjoyed using for years, and it's going to be Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's just such a fantastic striker. As you can see, I play 170 games with this man, and I've scored over a goal a game with him, which is absolutely fantastic. He's also supplied 65 assists, so he's not only a goal scorer, but he's also a provider. And as you can see, these days, you can pick up Zlatan for 80,000 coins. He's not been this cheap since FIFA 12. It's actually incredible that you can get this player for that sort of price. And also forgot to kind of go over what kind of stats that Royce accelerates at. Well, accelerates. He's got 90 pace, 86 dribbling, 84 shooting, 85 passing. Just such a well-rounded attacking card. He's actually got maybe a little bit better attacking stat than Di Maria. Well, in terms of shooting at least, but he's also really, really good. But Zlatan is just, oh man, again, my favorite striker this year that I personally used. I haven't used a whole lot of the higher rated ones because when I find someone that works, I don't want to sell him off. Hence, I got this many games with this man. But 6'5", extremely strong, good dribbling, a fantastic shot on him. Also decent passing. I know he's not the paciest man in the world, but it doesn't even matter. He just bangs goals left, right, center. He's just like, you get a goal, you get a goal, everyone gets a goal. And by everyone, I mean Zlatan, of course. So anyway, I'll go over to some of the goals that I managed to score with this team, and it's actually going to be a bunch of goals. So I'll see you guys there. So anyway, on to the goals. I'm going to start off with the goals from the defenders. There wasn't a whole lot of goals from them, surprisingly enough, but Finale Era managed to pop up with a goal every now and then, actually. He managed to score more goals than Jerome Boateng in less games, but as I said, there's a lot of goals to get from here. And now we're actually on to the midfielders, and as I said, these three midfielders are very well rounded, and as I said, the main way that I score goals with this team, as you may see in some of these clips, is that I get the ball back in the midfield with these three guys, and then I just hit them on the counterattack when there's not a whole lot of defenders back with quick passes and whatnot. And this free kick, I didn't actually intend for this to happen, or for Vidal to take that free kick. Because it just put him automatically. I generally have either Marco Reus or Zlatan Ibrahimovic as my free kick taker, but for whatever reason, Vidal was the one to be on that one. And some of these goals may actually be from previous teams, but it only involves players that are in this particular team. And as I said, Gündogan popped up with a goal every now and then, Matuidi popped up with a goal every now and then, also the same with Arturo Vidal. They just pop up with a goal every now and then, but generally, it's the three attackers that score the goals, and that's what they are there for. But lovely pass there from Matuidi. I mean, this goal also was a little bit of a strange one, because Zlatan took the throw, and then Alaba just decided to try to walk in, and Marco Reus is going to turn around, turn on a dime, and then put that one in the back of the net. These, well, mostly Zlatan's and Marco Reus's finishes are sublime. Look at that goal, by the way. I love the way that Vidal got that touch off. Look at that! Almost like a in-air rainbow flick. But not quite. But here you can see, this is one of the clumsiest goals probably ever scored. Look at that. I tried to do a skill shot in. I mean, I get the skill shot in the goal, but I missed the first one. So that was a little bit of an embarrassment. But this is also a little bit of a weird finish. The way that Zlatan takes that shot. But it works out really nicely, and here you can see this was actually before I had Royce in, because he's in these tighter spaces when there's not a whole lot of distance to goal. I generally like to have Royce because he's got more free kick accuracy, but Zlatan also works really well. And look at that turn from Di Maria, just turns around and gets past two different players. Like, the dribbling with these guys are incredible. I think everyone in here has got 85 plus dribbling. Zlatan is actually the one that has the least amount with 85 dribbling. And I thought that rainbow flick looked so good, but after I looked at the replay, I actually didn't get that rainbow flick over the defender as I thought I did at first. So that one looked a little bit worse than I first thought, but look at the dribbling, just a simple ball roll. And the fact that the ball is glued to their feet. And this counterattack is actually really, really nice. I see that Zlatan is free back there. perfect pass, just takes it down, and it's just, as I said, the first touch there is just perfect. And here you can see an example of the counter-attack. They're just all forward, they all manage to pass well together. Here, there you can see again, Matuidi wins the ball back. 1-2, simple play, simple finish, but that's what works extremely well with this team. And this is actually one of the few headers that I score with Zlatan. I mean, he's got that in his locker, but it's not the main thing that I use him for. It's generally not been my kind of play to just cross it in, especially in these last two FIFAs where crossing hasn't really been that viable. But look at that strike from Di Maria, that's also what he can do. It doesn't do that a whole lot, but he managed to pop up with a goal every now and then outside the box. But there you can see again, Vidal wins the ball back, lovely play there from Gundogan. Again, Gundogan is actually the only player in the midfield that's got 4-star skills, which gives him a little bit more flair than everyone else. But lovely one-touch football there yet again. I mean, I think these goals pretty much speaks for themselves. Just the dribbling, just that little itty bit of space that they managed to create for each other. And this is another fantastic strike from Zlatan. Not the like best of first touch or whatever, but a fantastic finish from him. I didn't actually manage to get a whole lot of long shots in these clips, but again, fantastic way that Di Maria's dribbling. I just feel like that I'm repeating myself here, but I just can't help it. I really like these three attackers. Even though Di Maria is a little bit more one-footed, as you can say, he only really shoots with his left foot, but Royce and Zlatan can finish with both their feet. And there you can see the kind of pace that Royce has. First a little ball run to take past David Luiz, and this one again is kind of a sloppy goal. Doesn't really look that good, but it was a little bit cheeky with the heel flick to the goal there. But again, Zlatan just showing off his skills, showing off his finishing in the top corner. That is what I like about him. And I think we're starting to get to the end of the goals. Maybe 1 minute left of the clips here, but I think pretty much the way I've been speaking about this team and the goals that I scored with this team, I think you can see why I really like this team. Just scoring screamers with Zlatan. And here's actually I think the only free kick goal that I managed to get with Royce in these clips. But this is a fantastic strike from Zlatan actually, just showing off his whole catalog, his dribbling, his strength, his finishing, just everything that he's got. Royce supplying Zlatan, Zlatan supplying Royce, Zlatan supplying Di Maria, and Di Maria supplying Marco Royce. It's just a circle of life. There is another long shot from Di Maria, that kind of cross-body finish. And I think this is actually one of the nicest free kick goals that I scored this year. From 30 meters out. I don't know how much that is in yards, but I think you can kind of gander at the distance that I took that from. And I don't score a whole lot of power free kicks, at least this FIFA, so that's why I really like that goal. And this is a really cheeky goal actually in the 90th minute of the Champions Shield final. Look at that. That's kind of Sweden-esque from 1994, and that actually is going to make this guy rage quit. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this squad builder. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.